everyone, and welcome to our Envision weekly live webinars. I'm Burju, and VP of Customer Success here at Canvas GFX. I'll be guiding you through today's session. These interactive sessions will guide you through the key tools and workflows available in our Envision portal and the Creator applications. And my goal is to enable you to create and manage digital work instructions, technical documentation, or any kind of documentation needs more efficiently and seamlessly. So let me share today's agenda with you. Just give me one quick second. Perfect. So hope you guys are seeing my screen. Awesome. So today's session is all about working with text objects, shapes, and image objects in our Envision Creator application. And we will spend, if you look at our agenda over here, we'll spend the first 20 minutes with a live demo of the key features that covers these topics. And I will reserve the last 10 minutes for any kind of questions and feedbacks during that you guys gather during this webinar. And I will make sure those questions are answered in real time. So feel free to drop your questions into the chat anytime. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you that this is just one of our Envision Weekly Live webinar series. We'll be here every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern, covering new topics each week to help you to get the most of your trial experience. All right, so let's start. Let's jump into today's session. And I usually do this. So before we get started with this week's topic, for those who are brand new to Canvas Envision platform, I would like to do a quick introduction of the application for you guys. So on my screen that I'm sharing with you guys on the left-hand side, we have the Envision platform introduction, and Canvas Envision is an instructional authoring platform that enables our customers efficiently create digital model-based step-by-step work instructions. The Envision platform includes, on the left-hand side, a browser-based Creator application with an intuitive UI that simplifies the authoring process. And our customers can also take advantage of our SDKs to embed the Creator application into other systems such as PLM, MES, and LMS learning management systems. In the case of PLM integrations, the CAD data can be directly imported from a single source of truth, and the creator can be notified if there are any changes to the models. So the documentation can sustain the latest information, and the end user will get always the latest version of the document. In the midsection over here, our platform also includes an easy-to-manage document management portal with admin settings, user privileges, document permissions, review, publish, and sharing features. Like the Creator application, this portal can be embedded to other systems, allowing users to access documentation from more widely used systems like MES or ERP or QMS. And on the right-hand side, we have the Weaver application. Documentation. Documents can be viewed during or after creation in a browser for an interactive consumption experience, featuring customizable dialog prompts, 3D models, and layered actions for engaged documentation and easy-to-consume documentation style. And the Weaver application can also be embedded to various digital threads in an organization. So at the bottom of this image that you guys see, we offer the SaaS solution, SaaS version of Envision through AWS or Azure Cloud Services. And alternatively, we can host Envision on our customers' private cloud or on-premise infrastructures. All right, so let me share another documentation to cover this week's topics. So this is a documentation one of my colleagues built in our team, and it is about a 3D printer, step-by-step instructions, and it is multi-page documentation that tells the end user how to put this 3D printer together. So what we did is taking a PDF approach as a start point, and then making an interactive content using the CAD data so the end user can get most of the visuals that they wanted to consume when they are reading these instructions. So as you can see in here, as I said, it's a multi-page documentation. The main use case in here is having the 3D models all interactive so the end user can get that interactive experience, and as well as the sharing abilities as an EV doc content, that you do not have to ship the CAD model, or you do not have to just visualize the 3D model without any context. In Envision, you can put your 3D models and put them in a context. So the views are, the visuals for the end users are much more context driven, so they can understand what they're reading and what they're looking at. And then I mentioned in my previous webinars before, we can also import videos, MP3 audio files, if there are any voice-over recordings for instructions, and as well as we can make animations from the 3D models that are imported into Envision, and that can be consumed by the end users. Okay, so for today's topic, we're going to cover the objects. We will start with the text objects. As you guys can see on my screen, I have the step number 1, bill of materials and inspection. When you wanted to bring a text object to Canvas Envision, the easiest way of doing it, actually you have 2 different ways of doing it. One is from the home and text. The other one is from insert tab and text object over here. If you click on that, and you will see that your cursor will turn to an italic shape, and then you can simply insert that text box anywhere on your canvas that you wanted to type the textual information. So just as an example, here is a text that I just typed in here. And then you can see with that information, I will have that contextual ribbon tab that we covered in the previous sessions will open, defining that I'm working with a text object here. And you could see that we have some navigate functionalities, text box options, and text placeholder, which is another topic we can cover later. Bullets, we call that multi-level text in Envision. I will cover that in a little bit. And then also what you see on the kind of like on towards the right-hand side is the font settings. This is where you can go ahead and change the font of your text data. And you can see that we have some built-in font information in here. We use web fonts in Envision. So if you have any custom font data that you wanted to bring into Envision, we could help you with that. We can add that in the backend for all the users in the organization can see the same style of font information based on their marketing, based on their compliance, or any other settings that they work in their companies. So in my case, I'm using just basically web fonts in here, and the default for me is the Roboto, but you can either find kind of like a similar Google web fonts that you want to get the comparison, or you can, as I said, we can customize that for you from the backend. We have workflows to put those custom fonts into our Canvas Envision environment. So if you wanted to change the font style, you just drop down the list and change it. And again, the font size is right here. You can make those textual information is bigger. And everything else in here is you see the subscript or superscript, they are always all on here, increasing the font size or decreasing right there. The font color is pretty straightforward, is right here. And you have the text effects in here that we have some kind of PowerPoint looking textual effects that you can apply to your visuals. And then we also have option to clear that formatting next to it if you define any effects in your textual data. So this basically resets that custom effects for your text data. So one thing that I want to mention, the margins, right here, alignments, line spacing, again, inside of the contextual ribbon tab. We do have the formatting option. This basically covers the multi-level list, which is also on the left-hand side, and the paragraph settings. So this is where you can put indents and hyphenation in your documentation, in your paragraphs when you're working with them. And next to it, we have the insert functionality that you can insert when you select the text box, like here, you can actually insert a symbol or a page number, and also align the two text objects. If I select one, for example, and the other one, I can align these together. Align these together towards the left, for example. The first one you select will always be the guide object, and the other one is going to be applying that settings for that. And we also have defined functionality in this ribbon, in this text ribbon. Okay, so let's talk about the bullets in Envision. If you have textual data that you typed in a paragraph or in kind of like bullet by bullet, while the text box is selected, you can go to either the format, or you can go to in the text pane over here on the left-hand side, the multi-level text. And then what this is going to give us settings to define what type of setting we're looking for. So if I go here, I can simply just give me 1 second. Like the text box over here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger so we can see the whole text. And then let's go to the text box, multi-level text tool. And if I click in here,